Log recording. It's about nearly 7 before 8 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time. It is April 29th, 2023. It's still Saturday morning. I'm not alive or awake yet for a zombie here. We were just in Roseman, California. Yeah, well, I was talking about my jobs and I was talking about life and everything else I was examining and coming across these days. And I managed to land on one particular topic that was still hard as hell to deal with. A couple of places I used to work at, but the last place was really hardest. Retail hell, Walmart. You're in job survival mode. You can't pick or choose what you're doing. You can't. You're living there and you're working there for survival at this point. Nothing else matters. It doesn't matter if anybody else was going to be saying that you're lousy or you're better or you're something like that. Whatever comment's going to be. Me, on the other hand, I'm just working there for the survival. I heard people badmouthing the company, and my family at one time had badmouthed the company. We had bad experiences a decade before when we were living in the San Fernando Valley, and we went over to the Panorama store and we saw what kind of a dump it was, and we called it such. Called it to our friends, called it family, called it everybody else. It was a dump. And then the people shopping around there knew it was a dump, but still, it was like to them a five and dime store. If it was dumpy looking, screw it. It was still cheap. It was still Walmart. The name Walmart. It took over a major retailer store. I think it was the Broadway or Bullock's, one of those two. And it used to be a prominent store until the company collapsed. Closed buildings left and right, so did the Monkey Wards in the area of Panorama City. But seeing how the mall was and seeing how everybody else was and the store of Walmart, it still felt like it was a dump. Training over there for automotive, learning about tires. Oh, yeah. Nice lengthy trip, about two or three people from the Antelope Valley, transported all the way to the San Fernando Valley. And at the time, it was home. I still try to feel it was home, but these days, it's no longer home. It's no longer home. So, learning how to do tires, given a book, how to read it, how to practice it, how to study the actual products, talk to the managers. Because if I'm going to be working behind a counter, I gotta know how to sell tires. I can ring things up, no problem. If they actually had a weight scale, no problem. I had a years of experience of a cashier in that company. And since I demonstrated I was actually able to balance the register, no issues during those days. And I had to have an attitude of gratitude. But I tell you, transition sucks because the 2 or 3 weeks of trying to learn how to do that store, how to be part of that store, how to be part of that culture, I just wanted to get the hell out of Dodge and find something else. But I had to be talked into it. The thing of it is, when you're hungry enough, you can't complain about it. But I tried till I got indoctrinated into their way of thinking a little bit. But still, I kept thinking one thing and one thing only: survive. My family needed a survival. We needed the money coming in, which meant I needed to bust my ass in that job. So what do? Bust my ass in a job. I did. I wasn't perfect at it either. I made plenty of mistakes in that company. But it got cumulative to where they decided after 5 years and also a few encounters. I'm not going to go further into that one. But those counters had put me into situations where the company was no longer a viable company to work in, especially when you have to deal with company politics. And I got to get into the sensitive case situation here because company politics is personalities you have to deal with on a daily basis. Cliques happen in a company. Cliques happen. Management cliques, employee management cliques. And if you're not part of the cool kids, you're out of it. You're just there to struggle for the damn paycheck. And it's easy enough to get your ass kicked one way or another because you're not cool enough for them, or you're not hip with them, or you're not kowtowing. But you try to be prideful, you try to be territorial at times. You can get your ass kicked more than once, more one way or another. Despite the fact if something happens and you see it wrong, it's handled badly. But nobody else is making her jump at a situation, but you're the only schmuck that does it. Be prepared to get the tidal wave effect on this one. There are different descriptions I could call it. Backlash would be the proper one, I think. It was a customer service issue when I got back from a break, and our lines were being backed up in the shop by the register. We had 3 managers milling around in the back, watching the whole damn thing while the employees were taking care of the brunt of it. You had you had the assistant manager, the department, the zone manager, and the department manager. 3 of them. People were complaining about the oil services not being done fast enough because other people were coming in line for tires. It was explained to me a long time ago in the department. More tires they get, more money they get, more hours they're allotted. And so people could try to work overtime if they needed to. The tire sales were the money makers. The oil services were just rush in and rush out, and that's it. Nothing. $100, actually about $50 oil service doesn't matter much during those days when I was working. And tire services is about $300 or $400, so that's money. 1 or 2 tires, okay, fine, but 4 set would be fine. About 6 to 700, depending on extras. That's money coming in. That's worth more. But we were having the tire sales in that time being more of a priority because that's more money coming into the department and into the store and makes the store look profitable. Every time there was an oil service, we also had to check the tires just to see if they were alive. And if the customers actually wanted to get tires, because that meant more time in the shop, more shopping that they could do in the store, more money we could suck out of the customer. Of course, we do it for the service. We wanted to be good at customer service, right? Good at bullshitting, basically. The argument that was happening when I came off my break. There was one particular customer who was very, very vehement with his mouse. No security was around, but they were watching. No police officers, not yet. And management wasn't getting involved, they're just watching the whole damn shit. They wouldn't get involved until I had to step in. Because there was an ongoing customer situation, and unfortunately the way my customer service skills were a long time ago is, do you see a need, you get that shit taken care of. Doesn't matter. You get it done for the customer. Get them in and get them out. You get to be the one shop. You get to be the one call. You're the one guy who's going to be solving it all. That was the shit I was learning all my life in customer service. If there was an issue, you got to be there to solve it for them. That's what customer service is all about. Not passing the fucking buck. Walmart strategy? I don't know what the fuck the management was doing in the first place. If the store manager was there, he'd be trying to get the other assistant managers to work on it, but he wouldn't work on it himself. He'd be yelling on his damn walkie-talkie all the damn time. So no, our atmosphere in there wasn't exactly conducive. A lot of people didn't like the company or the management. Other people just kept their mouths shut and tried to do their jobs as much as possible. And others just got burned out about the whole damn thing. Me, I got burned out. I get yelled at by the customer because my skills weren't up to par, and yelled back at them. Customer service is supposed to keep you cool at all times. Doesn't matter if you're human or not. You're supposed to keep you cool at all times. But I knew where these guys were coming from. I knew where these customers are coming from. But I had to represent the company. And the company said, and this is the company rules, and the customers couldn't get out of line. But if they did, oh, what a traffic hassle we would have during that day. But do you think the management would help? Nope. Nope. I'll stay back and watch. And then I get yelled at because I yelled at the customers. Well, I understand about that portion. But also I was right and they were wrong. It didn't matter. You're manager, you get to do anything. Including get your ass, including reaming other people's asses left and right because they're wrong and you're right because you're management. Despite the fact the customers actually had it right. You're there for about an hour and you still can't get an oil service, but a guy with a tire service needs to get in there. It's no wonder Walmart had a bad reputation for oil services because of the time. If there was no oil, any tire services rented that day, yeah, the oil services we got in there and out. But the problem is you only have one or two bays open for it. The other two bays had to be resolved or reserved for tires specifically. And if all three or all four bays we're using for tires, well, actually the one last one we had was for oil. So they're trying to bring in the money. They're trying to bring in the profits. They're trying to bring up the numbers. Problem is in customer service, the customer's not always right. But in other circumstances, the customer is right, especially when they're calling you on it. Now, one thing that could have been better is if one of the customers actually had a camera photographing or videotaping the whole damn thing. I mean, it would have been nice. That would have been something to watch. I would have loved to have seen management putting it out there of their version, and then the customers come up with a video. I'm surprised they didn't do a lawsuit against the company. Videotape the whole damn situation just to be a troubleshooter. Walmart would have had a field day, and so would the company, and so would all the other department and district managers out there. How did our store try to be so shiny? There's a lot of shit underneath it trying to make the whole damn brass look shiny. Everybody else had to be looking like shit. I don't know. Guy left, I guess, after a long while since I left the company. So, left the company, terminated. How about that one? Said before in the other video, certain actions that happen in the company of Walmart that you have disagreements with management, can't take it higher. And if you did, they shove you right back down to the lowers and you still get your ass reamed and written up and terminated. Some managers will probably act as pleasant and as sorry as they can. No, they're not. They're acting it. They want to keep their fucking jobs as much as possible while keeping up the performance. And I think the last straw was when I actually had a tire dropped on my face with a supervisor. Never apologized for it. I had to write up paperwork while bleeding to death in the HR department, and nobody ever sent me medical help. By the time I get over to medical help, shit, I think my capillaries just seized up, clotted up. Oh, take take 2 aspirins and come back Monday. I could have had a concussion. I could have had a cracked skull, and they wouldn't give a shit at the workers' comp place. It's the same place I have my medical insurance with. But we'll see. And they never did account for psychological either. Neither did the attorney. But getting back to the company, I thought, at one time I was a company man, but after that, forget it. The illusion and disillusion that I actually had concerning about growing up as a young adult to an old fart is when you're in a company, um, you're trying to be everything. You're trying to be everything that they want you to be and what they expect you to be. And it's not happening when you start questioning because they don't want you to question. They want you to be robotic, do the job. You're going to be a company employee. Here's the job. But if you can't be the company employee, what the hell are you? The hell is this? What the fuck did I just do, mate? Oh, good lord. No, I'm just having a conniption fed here with my computer system here. Give me one moment. I'm going to put you on pause real fast. Come on. Come on, thank you. Pause already. I don't know. It seems to be one of those kind of days where a computer is just going to be driving me nuts right now as it is. What I was trying to indicate, uh, customer service, Walmart, past jobs, and how things usually affect me a great deal. The one thing that I never countered on was mental health breakdown at a job, especially when you damn near get killed. How things change in perspective a great deal. And I was already having enough problems trying to deal with the company and surviving the company and just struggling at home because at home my family needed me to keep the damn job no matter what kind of damage it was doing to me. Well, I guess maybe in one way I was looking for a way out. And maybe God provided it. I got out the hard way. But it should have been a better way. It should have been a different way. It should have been a better job somewhere. But after that, forget it. I learned how to not trust people. Not trust employers. Sure as hell don't trust anybody. That's what's happened to me. I turned out to be a non-trusting guy for a lot of things in my lifetime that had affected me a great deal that I can't change. I can't change the fact that I don't trust or like people. I can't change the fact that I've got a problem trusting people. Let alone going into a job and hoping somebody's going to have my back over there because when you're at a job, nobody's got your back but yourself. I don't care what supervisors or managers tell you. You're the only one's got your own damn back. Don't even trust the damn lawyers. It sucks having that kind of a lesson. I've learned it the hard way. I don't like it, but it happens. So now I got to deal with my own. For right now, I struggle. That's what I do.